I'm going to talk about gates now. There are various things which you can do with gates, but I'm going to try and show you some of the agreed paths that have been worked on, not by myself, but by other far more experienced and knowledgeable judges about what you use or what the dog can do with the gate. So, what's acceptable for a dog to do the gate? Going straight past it, like that. Straight past. It's not a problem. Equally, so that's going straight past to the other side of the handler. So the handler's on this side and the dog is going on the far side of the gate to the handler. Another one which is slightly accepted in the higher classes, and this may be with a combination of gates or barrels, would be to get the dog to pass on the handler side of the gate and then continue on. That would be evident in something like a part slalom. So they may want to ask the dog to come this side of the gate and then through the gap around a barrel. But that is, it's to be used. That sequence or that use of going inside the gate will probably be used as a higher grade situation and in combination with other obstacles. You could use two gates side by side to make a much wider scoop. You could use two gates further apart. So again, you can use an outside and an inside style for definitely the H grades. Turns around a gate. The gate, obviously, far wider than a barrel. Not necessarily tight turns, but the dog may be able to come at the gate from a very slight angle rather than straight on. Very slight angle, okay? So we're not talking right angles, we're talking Art Nouveau there. And then a very slight turn there. So as you can see, they're doing an arch around and turning back. So they can do that. You can also, let's have a look here. So you can also sort of like get them to do a straight line and then a turn, okay? Or a turn and then a straight on, so like that. What is not necessary and what is not considered sensible is making your dog do a 180 around a gate like this. Tight turn round and a tight turn back. So we avoid that. We avoid that scenario. Okay. So it's a little bit more restricted than the barrel use, but as I say, you can use two gates providing you have sufficient distance to do that sort of turn. You can also get your dog to come in on your side and turn away from you, perhaps more in that slight angle. So a left turn or the right turn. So the dog is going slightly round the gate and slightly inside the gate, and then slightly away, slightly off from you. For Hooper level training, this is the VEC. This is the away. I have seen people on courses in other countries using gates like that. Not necessarily in our course designs or what have you, but certainly wouldn't be amiss for a training purpose. But I would say at this moment, not on courses. So you can do recap. Straight on this side and straight on. Slight curve from left to right, or slight curve right to left, or a slight curve your side and then turn away. That could either be for a slalom or just in a totally new direction. Gates can be used in any of our courses now, any of our grades. So that's from the starters upwards. Again, I would say you've got to set the gates, especially in the starter classes, where you think the handler, if they're not familiar with them, will have a good chance of getting their dogs to work them successfully.